Hi! We just know we met like a while ago, but
We haven't seen each other in a while.
in about 2 weeks,
Yes.
I think. Yes.
Yes.
Because
Life happens.
life happens and I don't get to come by much.
Yes.
And we live far from each other. So
Yes. We now live far from each other. We used to live very close by to each other.
So we don't get to see each other
Yes.
as often.
So this is Dude, That's My Tea.
Yes. A podcast by the Piri siblings. And I'm Saku.
And I'm Sachi.
Do we need to look at the camera?
No, you can look at the camera.
Do we need to look at the camera? How does this go? Oh, we do. Right. Okay, we don't need to. Okay. So, okay, you go ahead. The other one was prompting.
So Dude, That's
I'm
My
drinking
Tea.
it before she drinks it. Because that's why we call it Dude, That's My Tea. Because you can't leave a tea lying around without Sachi drinking it.
Yes.
And what happened to my tea? Oh, Sachi drank it.
Yes.
Yes.
So we also have another sibling, and I'm kind of famous for drinking everybody's tea that's lying around. So that's why this is Dude, That's My Tea. But here I actually got her own tea and I have mine, so that's a good thing.
Yes.
Shall we get into it?
Yes. Spilling some tea.
Yes.
Yes.
On
Social media. Okay.
yeah, so we're talking about how it is to be siblings, the kind of relationships we have,
Yeah.
and what kind of impact we had on each other's lives, I guess.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm the eldest, and she's 1 year younger than me, and so we grew up together more like twins than anything else.
Yes.
Yes.
We are only 1 year apart.
1 year apart. Exactly 1 year apart.
Our brother is 5 years younger to us.
Yes. And yeah. So yes. So I'm a mom. I have 2 kids that are married, and so far life has been such that I stayed at home with them.
Yes. It's been about how long has it
10,
been?
it's been 10 years.
It's been 10 years.
It's been 10 years.
Since you.
We're in the workforce. Let's call it that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, this is very awkward. But okay.
Yes. Can we talk about how awkward this is?
It's because we haven't done this before. This
We
is
are introverted millennials.
millennials, and
We're shy. We don't like social media.
No,
Or do we?
No, I don't know. It's nice to look at other people's stuff.
Not to
put
put yourself out there so much.
Yeah. But I have been though.
Yes.
A little
you
bit
have. You
because
have.
I do random little tips on things my kids say,
Yes.
and
The books you read.
The books I read, and now
You read a lot.
Yeah, because that's like only escape to
From reality.
from reality to another place. And now I also do a bit of a few clips here and there on English because I teach now. But we haven't talked about you yet.
Oh yes. So I work a corporate job. My life is pretty. It's pretty normal. Yeah, I don't do much other than work, and I love being home. I don't like crowds, so I like to stay home. And I do a lot of arts and crafts. And just hang out with my dog, and basically just keep to myself and be a
Homebody.
yes, I love being a homebody. It's the nicest thing. It's taken so long for us, I think, to be comfortable with who we are, and I think we are finally getting there. So I have no complaints.
Yeah, the thing is, I realized this yesterday that it's taken such a long time for me to be okay in my own skin, sort of.
Yes.
Like own the fact that I'm restless, or like I'm not, that I can't relax or anything, and just to be with myself and just even
Take
if I'm
in the moment.
Yeah, just be in the moment and be with, like if I'm going through something or feeling something, just to sit with it and just acknowledge it and accept it and just be with myself.
That's so interesting, I think, because the three of us, with the kind of childhoods that we had.
Yes.
It's not a surprise that it's taken so long to be okay with ourselves, I guess.
Yeah. So we didn't have they tried, but
They tried.
But they tried, being the keyword. Didn't have the best of childhood.
Yes, it was a bit. It was not. It could have been better. It could have been better.
Yeah, that's the other thing now. So our parents' generation, I think, as we can see now, didn't really give parenting a conscious thought. They just took it all in their stride and they just did their stuff. And parenting was another thing that they did.
Yes.
It wasn't done consciously.
Yes.
Yeah,
there was so much they could have done, but their lives were also really chaotic.
And they themselves were victims of lots of other things.
Yes.
So they just passed that to us.
Yes.
And, but
So
now,
I suppose we'll get to parenting in a little bit.
yeah, okay, of course.
And we talk about the kind of siblings we were,
Yeah.
children we were when we were young.
You said we have been best friends forever.
Yes, we have.
Yes. So much so that I personally haven't had the need for another best friend out.
Yikes. You need to get your own friends.
Very, very sad.
Please
Very
get
sad.
your own friends.
No, but that's another thing of being an introvert, right? It's difficult for me to go out and make friends. And when I do make friends, I don't have the energy to spend on maintaining the friendships.
Yes.
So they just dwindle down. So the one or two I have are there because they try so hard to hold on to me.
Yeah, I think it's come to that point.
Yes. So and I really appreciate that. Like Manji is there. She's been there like 20 years now. We've been friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you remember how, like, in school, lots of friends with siblings, they had lots of rivalries going on. There were lots of fights. There were like family issues, and the two of us were so lucky that we didn't have any of that. And do you remember how, like, in school during interval, like, we would walk around the school and then we would meet up with each other just to talk. Like, we were going home.
And we just came from the same house.
Same house.
In the morning. Yeah.
And we'd still be talking.
Yeah.
And remember how Tata used to say, like, why do these kids
Talk so much?
Like, can they stop? Do they stop? And there used to be such a thing, right?
Yeah, like even now, it's like when she comes over to our house, when you come over to our house, it's like, what are you talking so much?
Yeah.
Like, we talk on the phone all the time,
Yeah.
and we text each other on multiple platforms at the same time. There's a one conversation going on WhatsApp and another one on Instagram.
Yeah. So I think do you perhaps think maybe it was because we were somewhat traumatized kids, and one of the ways we got over that is
by being a united front.
Yes. And then we had Malli after 5 years from me.
Yes.
And so we were like a little gang.
Yeah. But he was much younger.
He was much younger. He was like a baby.
Yeah. Because I remember going to because Amma was busy, and then when he first started going to nursery, I was around 10, 11, 12.
Sure.
Yeah. So I went to preschool with him for
Yeah. I remember. We took turns.
It was.
Oh wait, so do you remember how when you were in kindergarten?
And she would cry because I cried.
Yeah, because I wanted to go. Because you were not home. So they had to enroll me also. So I sat with you in class.
Because I cried. There was a lot of separation anxiety going on, and so I cried a lot. So we went to a nursery at a convent, a Catholic convent. So there was like a big cross in the front. So you'd hold on to the cross and go, Tata.
Don't let them take me away.
Yeah.
And then be like, she's crying.
Yeah. So and again, because those days there was no. They didn't understand separation anxiety.
Yeah.
That kids had it, that's developmentally all right for them to have it. Yes. So she came and then there was separation anxiety between the two of us. Because I had to leave her at home and go.
Yes.
And then I left her.
Yeah. So you went to Colombo.
Yes.
You passed the scholarship exam and you went to Colombo.
Yes.
We are from like a
really rural village. Yes. Village.
Beautiful
village folks. Beautiful. Backwards and but beautiful place.
Yes. So you passed your scholarship exam, and he came to Colombo.
Yeah.
And I was alone.
Yeah. But then he did sports, lots of sports.
Yeah, I did sports. Yeah, I was like a
Sporty person.
Yes.
Unlike me. Yeah, but
no longer sporty.
Yeah, but you did like basketball and volleyball, and you woke up at like 5 and left home.
Netball. I played a lot of netball.
Yeah. I remember you left home at 5 to get to school.
Yeah.
To practice
I took
in
the bus alone. We don't even know
Amazing.
how. Yeah.
I mean, like now Seth is that age.
Yeah.
I would not send him in the bus by himself. No.
Right. So some days it was just me, the conductor, and the bus driver, and they would just wait for me because the bus leaves at like 5:15, and they would just wait for me. And Amma would come and drop me to the bus, and I would just sleep in the bus. And at the school, they're like, you know what, you have to get down, get down, please. I was alone. Like it was 5:30 in the morning.
Now when you think about it, it's really scary.
It's very scary. It's not something you would do with your own kids now, right? But also, I think it was a different time.
It was a different time.
It was safer.
Yeah, somehow maybe.
I was alone a lot,
Yeah.
and I was not harmed.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time I was fine. Like I've taken like
Most
because
of the time. Most of the time.
Yes.
Yes. Let's talk about that incident later.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've been alone and I've been in danger, but.
Yes.
But most of the time I was alone, and when I was alone, because you went to Colombo and Mali was schooling somewhere else, I had a dog, and I would walk around the village after school like every single day with the dog. And that's what we did. We were like just frolicking in the paddy fields.
And just there was this ginormous bicycle.
Yes.
Tata's bicycle, somebody's Tata's bicycle. Was it Suma's bicycle? There was like a big, those bicycles that grown-up men use with the big wheels and everything. And I couldn't even like get onto it properly.
Can you ride a bicycle now?
Yeah, of course I can. but that was a big bicycle, so I couldn't sit on the seat and ride it. So I just sort of hang on to it and ride it through the village.
Yes.
I went everywhere in the bicycle. On the bicycle.
That was nice.
Those are good times, though.
Those are good times. Remember how you were like, if you were home, you were up on the roof,
On a tree.
or you were up on a tree, and I was not a climber,
No,
so
you
I
were
would stay down,
there.
and I would be
I'm
like,
so sorry.
I'd be like, yeah, we are both getting in trouble, so like, I'm just gonna stand around and just wait for it to happen. And people would be pissed, like, you would not come down. You were on the damn, what was that tree? Guava tree.
No, Dale.
Oh,
The big one was a Dale tree, but the others were guava trees and everything.
Yeah. Or the roof.
Yeah, there was a lot of climbing. I
There was a lot of
trying to
climbing.
escape being inside or something.
Yeah. So do you want to talk about
Sibling rivalry. You want to talk about that? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we didn't have any.
So this is a short conversation. Sorry, guys.
No, it's just that, it's just okay. One thing, I think because we had a traumatic childhood and we were together.
Should we elaborate on it or not?
So
Maybe not.
Maybe not right now. So, so we were together facing that the brunt of it. Thankfully, Malli didn't have to face it so much because we were there in front of him, and then there was no reason to. I think maybe one of the reasons is that Amma was a friend to us. Yes. So the three of us were like our little gang, Amma, me, and you. So like a girl gang, the three of us.
Yes.
So we bonded over the same things and everything, and there was no reason to have rivalry because we knew that she loved the two of us the same way, with the same amount. And
Absolutely. Oh, I think I'm so glad you mentioned that. Like, maybe that's one of the biggest reasons why, like, our mom was not somebody who was ever competitive with anybody else.
No,
she's so graceful in life. Like, she had a way of absorbing other people. She's so soft.
The kind of grace we don't have.
We are not graceful people.
No, we're like the clutch of them.
Yeah, so there was never any need for competition.
No.
Yeah. But we have lots of our family members, lots of our friends with siblings who are like,
So I think it's the parents. So I think it's the parents, right? The parents would ensure when they're growing up that there's no rivalry happening. So it's usually now, if one person is seen as being given preference to, even in small ways, then there's resentment building.
how are your kids?
So Their gap is 6 years.
Right.
Yeah. So the eldest one still feels, I think, because he's in that age. So we try very hard to make sure that if we get something Panangi, we get something Vaya. Like, there's no one thing. Because if we never get anything Panangi now, we don't get anything Vaya.
Okay.
We consciously now spend time with Seth because despite the efforts, he still feels a little left out.
Yeah. Because she's younger. And she still has a lot of needs that needs to be addressed.
And even the small things like she jumps on the bed. He can't jump on the bed because he's as tall as me now. Right? And
so it's just not good.
Yeah, so some things can't be done.
Yeah.
But then he feels like, you let Nang jump on the bed, but you don't let me jump on the bed.
Yeah.
You love her more. So, but those things, then we tell her, no, it's not like that, and we understand that you're sad. But there are some things in life that you can't help.
That's a good lesson.
That is a good lesson. He has to learn it at some point, and this is a good time to learn it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So we tell him, I tell him, so I hold him and sort of rub his back. So I know it's hard. Always hold him. But you gotta some things. Nangi will have some things that you can't because she's smaller.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
So do you wanna talk about going forward? I suppose there's a few subjects that we want to talk about.
Yeah.
We are both very passionate about mental health.
Yes.
We both had our own issues. Maldi has had his own issues, and we are all, the three of us have all addressed our issues, and
in the process of addressing them. Yes.
And we are working on them constantly
every day. Yes.
Yes. So it's something that we should probably touch up on sometime. But before we get into it, do you want to talk about your classes? Like, so you started working again after many years.
Yes.
How are you finding it? Are you having fun?
I'm loving it.
Right.
Yes, especially because I have students from different backgrounds.
Yes.
And most of them, I'm very happy to say, are women who are restarting their lives.
That's amazing.
Yes,
That's amazing.
After having children, they've stayed at home for a while, and now they're getting back to their studies, and now they realize that to keep up with their children, they need to maybe study more or learn the language.
Yeah.
So most of them are like that, and
right.
So I'm loving that.
Yeah.
And
so I think you're meeting a lot of new interesting people,
yes.
which is very important for you.
Which is very important for me also,
because you did not get out of the house for a long time.
long time.
Yeah.
So so some of them actually, this is one of the things that I want to share. Okay, this is a guy actually. This is like the only guy in my classes.
Okay.
Male student in my classes.
Right.
And
so you teach English
to grown-ups.
To grown-ups.
Yes.
Spoken English to grown-ups.
And I have a few classes that I do from like the basic levels as well.
Right.
But the most popular one is the speaking class and
the speaking. Can I pause there and sort of go back to our childhood and talk about how English used to be not a thing?
Should we not have a therapist present for this? We should have a therapist present for this.
We should have a therapist.
Yeah, we should totally. But
so I did not speak English until I was, I don't know how old.
12ish, because we started speaking to each other then.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we come from a very literate background. By the way, our parents are both well read and well educated and everything. But English is not their first language. They read in English, they wrote in English, but they never spoke in English.
Yes.
Yes.
So we did not pick it up when we were young.
Yeah.
So our cousin,
yes,
whose both parents spoke and wrote in English at home.
Yeah. And she lived in Colombo.
She lived in Colombo.
Yeah.
She went to school in Colombo, so she was speaking English like almost as a first language.
Yeah.
So that was not. So, but you picked it up fast, and I was like the.
No, not really though. No, what did we do? We made friends in the van.
No, but also we went to a very specific class for literature.
That was for our O-levels.
Yes. I suppose that's where the love of
the
language.
love of literature came.
Yes. So we picked up English so fast.
Yeah.
We read so much.
Yeah.
We still do.
And we are elderly gentleman
Yeah.
who was very particular about language and
Yes.
literature. And
he taught us well.
he taught us well, didn't he? Yes. And we sat in the first row.
We sat in the first row and we were like absorbing
Everything
the
he was
stories.
saying, yes.
And it just clicked, right? We
Yeah,
loved
just
it.
clicked. We just loved it.
So, but you continued. I mean, I read.
Yeah.
But I don't. I probably read 10 to 12 books a year, whereas you probably read about 50, 60,
100-ish.
100-ish books a year.
Yeah.
Holy. Okay.
So, because the thing, I have muscle tab. But then I have because I have simultaneous books going at the same time.
So you even though you took a massive step back from your regular life of working and all that, when you had kids, reading is something you kept doing.
Yes, because that's
100 books a year. Damn.
Yeah,
That's
we should-
impressive.
Yeah, I think it's about 100. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least close to 100.
Right. Yeah. So okay. So we didn't speak English.
No, and then we came to Colombo,
Yes.
and we were at a place which we'll elaborate.
We were boarded in a house with some friends.
And we have so much unresolved issues from there as well, but
Yes.
we are working through them.
Yes.
But language was one of those things.
Yes.
Because they spoke English, and they were snooty about it.
There was some spot.
Yes, and we were children. We were 10 and 11 or 12. This is 1 year apart, and we felt insecure.
Yes.
One thing, we couldn't be ourselves there,
Yes.
and we felt like a world apart.
Yes. And we are very outside of things.
Yes, and they sometimes treated us like third-class citizens.
Yes. There was this amount of exclusion
happening, and so there was no room to grow. While we were there, and
So their method of teaching us to speak in English even was to just directly talk to us in English and
no, they suddenly throw at you suddenly throw a question at you,
and you're like, I would not answer in English. I would be like, not happening.
yeah, and then it became sort of like a rebellion.
Yes.
When we were growing up, so we would speak to each other in English, and
but not to them.
not to them. So they would ask a question in English, and we would reply in Sinhala. Very, very juvenile. We were juvenile.
We were pretty young.
Yeah, we were pretty young. Yes, and
But so now we have a lot of love for the language.
we have a lot of love for the language.
Both the languages. We regret not speaking Tamil.
Yes, we do.
So tell me about the class, the guy in the
Yes.
class.
So his boss is apparently English.
Right.
So he works for a English subsidiary in Sri Lanka, but his language is all right. It's not bad, but it's just that he's shy to speak in English, and as most of them are actually.
Yes.
And that's like the Sri Lankan fear of speaking in English, because they are worried that others will look down on you,
Yeah.
and will laugh at you, will be embarrassed. So he finds it hard to speak to his boss in English. But then I spoke to him a few weeks ago, and I said, I gave him a few examples and how people have overcome their fears, and I said, you can do it. And he's all right, so to speak, and I encouraged him. And I didn't know whether it worked out. And so last week, now it's a good thing that I've decided that I'm going to do every week, ask my students to tell me something they did the past week that took them out of their comfort zone.
Right.
Okay, which I think is a very interesting question to ask people. So
Yes. Again, to pause you, this is something we are doing to get ourselves out of the comfort zone. This is not something we would have ever done.
Ever done? No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
We don't put ourselves out there willingly because I've never felt the need for it.
Yeah.
And I'm just introverted.
Yeah, and we're not comfortable.
But this year we are doing things that makes us uncomfortable.
Yes, we're doing hard things
Yes.
this year. Yes, because we can do hard things.
Yes, we can.
So then when I asked them, so other people said different things, and that they had to do this week. But I felt he was the one who got the gist of the question.
Right.
Okay, and then he said the thing that he did was that he started speaking to his boss in English. A few words every time, maybe a sentence.
So he's consciously doing this.
He's consciously stringing words to make sentences to speak to his boss. And
That's amazing. I love that.
yeah, so I congratulated the others on doing hard things during the week, but I felt elated hearing it, and he felt, and I could see that he was elated in telling me about it. He said, I took your advice and I did this. And so the Englishman apparently is really nice, and he's just happy there's another person speaking his language, I guess. And so he's been very encouraging to this boy, and so he said every day he feels more successful than the day before.
Right.
So I feel like I'm doing something
Wonderful.
wonderful. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes, and I also have a student who's in her 60s.
Right.
And she's just starting her life. She's gotten her driver's license, and she's starting.
What made her pause?
Yeah, so there are two elderly ladies. So
Okay.
so this one is. I think she started. I don't know why she did, but she's 68, I think. So I think she feels like, oh yeah. So she wants to talk to her. She wants to talk to her daughter's mother-in-law in English, who's apparently really nice, nice lady. So she talks to her in English, and then she feels like she wants to be able to respond. So, but now she bought herself a grammar book. Yeah,
It's wonderful.
it's wonderful.
It's
Yes,
wonderful.
and it's her daughter who recommended me. So, and then we talked over the phone, and then now we have 3 classes. It's lovely. And the other lady is also. This is actually sad in a way. She started because she's restarting her life because her husband died, and she's been kept at home without any foray out into the world, and now he's no more, and she's free. So she's doing everything she
That's
possibly
so
couldn't do.
cool.
Yeah, but then a life spent like
A
that.
lifetime.
No, she's broken free because he's no more, and she's doing everything that she couldn't.
So
do eventually.
imagine, but like getting to that point, like she's in her 60s and even like he's gone.
Yeah.
So I suppose these are things that she always wanted to do but never
she
could.
Yes.
But now she's not saying how old she is, and she's not saying
Yeah.
she might be sick or we don't know.
We don't know. Yes.
But she's like out there doing things.
Out there doing things. She's like going to get coffee with her friends, and which she couldn't do apparently when he was alive. And now
That's
learning
really
a new
cool.
language, and she's reading, and she's driving to places.
I love that.
Right? And which means
This
to,
is yeah.
to start your life anew or to start new things, you don't have to be young. You can do it at any age. You can do it when you're 60,
Yes.
or 70, whenever you want. Yeah.
I love that. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
That's amazing.
We tend to get a bit discouraged as we get older.
Yeah, we're like, we see all these 19-year-olds who are like so successful, and we're like, oh, what have we done with our lives?
Yeah.
But I think it's okay to be
It's
where we
okay.
are.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. Right. So yeah. So
Yes. What else do we have?
mm,
Let's talk about crafting.
crafting. Yeah, so I am a collector of hobbies
Yes.
and craft supplies.
Yes, yes.
If you come to my house is like a junkyard of collected things. I suppose I'm a hoarder. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know if I should address it.
Yep, we should.
But I love knowing I have things at home that I can just reach out to and start building something.
Yeah.
So the issue with me is that I pick something up, I make it, and then I get so bored, I leave it and I pick another one. So today I'll be painting, tomorrow I'll be sewing, I'll be making necklaces or earrings. Like
But those earrings, where are those earrings? Those are gorgeous.
I'm actually wearing
Some of them, yes.
some of them
They're
now.
nice, they're lovely, yes. But then you took an earring making class.
I did.
Yes.
I loved it. It was really nice.
Yeah.
So I do that and then I get bored. But so this year, as a way of getting out of my comfort zone,
Yeah.
I am doing something. I'm journaling the process of making or drawing or whatever. So day one, I say I did this. This was the outcome,
Okay.
with the hope that I don't give up.
All right.
So the point is to get better at like one thing,
Okay.
multiple things.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So it's a nice thing. So I want to learn to make shorts at home.
Yeah. You need to learn to sew. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I made one pair by
But
hand.
that was nice.
That was nice.
Yeah.
That was good. So it had a lot of mistakes. I would have, last year, if it was me, I would have given up and just not bothered. But this year I journaled, I looked at what I did, and I was like, you know what, fine, I'll redo this. So I took another day and I redid it.
Yeah.
I corrected the mistakes. So I've come to a point where I have like nice little drafts lying about. So hopefully I won't give up.
It's nice. Because I also like to craft.
You make a lot of stuff, you're good at it.
But I
You're
don't.
one of those people who you need to only look at something to be able to make it.
No.
And you make it like so perfectly the first time.
Not really.
So jealous.
Not really. Because I got this through the what do you call it?
So you stitch your own clothes?
I do. Some of them, not this, but some of them.
Yeah,
I do.
but similar stuff.
Yeah. But it takes time.
And you crochet, and you can knit.
Yep.
You can paint.
I can't draw, but I can paint.
You bind books.
Yeah.
You make your children's clothes, like you
Pyjamas and stuff.
pajamas and
T-shirts and
stuff.
stuff. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. What else? You upholster furniture. You've done that.
Oh my God! Remember that? There was a phase of upholstering furniture
Yeah.
and repainting everything in the house.
Yes. I'm still not over it. I'm still doing it.
Your furniture is so interesting.
Furniture is interesting.
Yes, furniture is very interesting actually. Yeah, so I can do anything. It's just that just like you, I lose interest after a while, and then I will start all over again. Yeah, like there was like a crochet phase. I crocheted like every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I write. So that's like
You write a lot.
I write. That's
Yes.
You write too.
I have not in a
Long time. But I had that copy of you, the one you wrote about the zombie.
Oh yes, I used to write stories for set.
Yes, which are lovely.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was so funny though.
I wrote about a zombie
Yes.
who's not exactly a zombie. Who went to a gala and
Yes.
in
What was
Colombo.
that? Was it not Miss Maisel? Miss Marvelous?
Miss Mabel?
Miss Mabel?
Miss Mabel?
Miss Mabel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was nice. Okay then. So do you want to talk about one of the things that we both are, like I said, passionate about is mental health.
Yeah.
We've been through our own stuff.
Yeah.
Should we do that another day, or like we can wrap up? Yeah.
Okay.
So in the
Yeah.
next time we meet,
Okay.
hopefully with Malli,
Yeah.
let's talk about mental health
Yes.
and what it was like for us when we were growing up.
Yeah.
What it was like for you after you had your children.
Yeah.
And for Malli, what it
Yeah.
was like being abroad, away from home. He had
Yeah.
a tough patch.
Yeah.
And we can talk about how we are constantly working on things.
Yes.
And trying not to lose our shit. Trying to stay sane.
Yes, there's a lot of it to talk about. So let me just say one last thing then. So this actually comes from a book called The Whole Brain Child.
The Whole Brain Child.
By Dr. Daniel J. Siegel. And so I think it's like the Bible of child rearing.
Right.
Should be. It's amazing. So based on neuroscience and everything. So he says that. So he talks about children, about emotional regulation. How children's brains and emotions are like a boat in a small stream. So the two shores are like the extremes. Okay. And our responsibility as parents, he says, is to make sure that whenever the boat goes to either shore, to gently nudge it to the middle.
Right. That's
Okay.
beautiful.
And so I feel like that's the same thing with us, with our emotional well-being, to think of ourselves as this boat that's going down a stream.
Right.
And keep it being regulated means that we are sort of in the middle. Like we are content and peaceful being the key word, I think.
Yeah.
At peace with our own selves.
Yeah.
And when there are chances that we can go to either shore, but when we do, to sort of learn techniques to bring ourselves to the middle and gently flow.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that next time then.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Thank you for
Thank you for having me.
and this is Dude, That's My Tea.
Yes. See you later. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.